Hi fellow YouTubers, this is me back again with the next part of my HEROQUEST adventure series. This is the next quest, which is Legacy of the Orc Warlord. This is what the game would look like if you put it out on the actual board game. And this is what my dungeon looks like. Not far off. Changed a few little things here and there as usual, just to accommodate the pieces that I've got. Now this quest, the heroes start off locked up in a dungeon without their weapons. So they've got to escape, find their weapons and fight their way out, killing the Orc Warlord on the way. So this is where they start from. This is the dungeon. As you can see, it's got a different type dungeon door and there's some bars on the walls. So they've all started in there. There's a little piss pot in the corner for them, so they're not totally uncivilized. So what they do when they pick the lock and come out, they've got a choice of either going right or left. So we'll start off going to the left, move along the corridor here. If they go down this way, don't forget they haven't got their weapons, so they're very limited to how they can fight and defend. They've got sacks of grain there. A bit further down the corridor, let's cut some pots, and at the end of the corridor there's an orc archer. If they search for secret doors, this door will open and they will go into this room, which contains some crates, fireplace, an orc and a bookcase. That's all they can do on this room. So if they go back up the corridor, continue on up, they've got another orc archer in the end of the corridor, and there's a room here. If they go in this room, you have a goblin, a chaos warrior, a bookcase and a weapons rack. Maybe that's where their weapons are hidden. Anyway, they come out of this room, carry on up the corridor, go along this really long corridor here. We have a lizard man here, we have the lizard chieftain and another lizard man at the end with a crate, and there's a treasure chest behind the lizard chieftain there. And what these are for, well, you have to play the game with me to find out. It could be healing powers, it could be anything. Moving along this corridor, come around the corner, bump into another orc, and they carry on down the corridor. They've got a goblin archer, and they decide to go along this way. And on this corridor you've got a chaos warrior guarding the door. You've got a crate of food, so they go in through this door. In here you have some barrels in the corner with a torture rack. You've got a goblin, an orc and a lizard man. So they do everything in that room, come out. Instead of going into this room, I'll leave that for the moment. Move on down the corridor. You've got Chaos Warrior with some crates. And further down the corridor, right at the end, is a Goblin Archer. Go around the corner, they've got another Orc Warrior guarding this doorway. So they're going through this door. In here you've got Chaos Warrior with a table behind him, some beer barrels and a treasure chest. Come out of this room, move along the corridor a bit more, got some sacks of grain there. Moving along, they decide to go up, so they go up this corridor, and at the end of the corridor there's another Chaos Warrior, and just at the end of this little corridor here there's some food. And if they went along this way, they got some empty barrels And back up here is where they would have come out if they come out of the jail. So if they come out of the jail and gone this way, they could have gone through this door. It would have been suicidal because they haven't got any weapons. And in this room is a lot. You've got 2 burning furnaces in either corner. You've got 2 orcs there. Table in the middle. You've got a treasure chest. You've got another orc and a lizard man. You've got another orc, and then you've got an Orc Chieftain or an Orc Champion guarding bookcase. As I showed you earlier, when they came down here and they come and defeated him, they can go through the door this way as well. So there's 2 ways into this room. So once they've done all that, if we come back down to the bottom here, this is the corridor they came down from the top. So if they came into this corridor, instead of going up that way, they continued into this room. In here you've got 3 goblins with some food and another bookcase, and there's a doorway there. If they come back out and come along the corridor, they can go through this door. So they can go through either this door or this door to get into the final room to find their way out. In here you've got 2 orcs, 2 goblins, and the leader of the orcs, the main character, the Orc Chieftain. Behind him is a stairwell out of the dungeon. So there's multiple ways of going around this. There's a quick way, well, a suicidal way if you want to go without your weapons, which is straight from the start room round this way and out. Or if they want to get their weapons, they've got to go up that way, got to go, and they have to go all the way around the dungeon. So I'll now show you a few of the newer characters. I think I've showed you this one before on a previous one. This is the Orc Champion. He was in a previous mission that I had. A newer one up the top here. We have the leader of the lizard men. He's obviously got magic and he's a lot more powerful. And then finally this guy, which is the Orc Chieftain. Superbly painted figure, this one. Very hard to kill, and he's the one who's blocking them from getting out of the dungeon and managing to get through to the next level. If they did manage to get out, the next quest in this series is the Lost Wizard. Another sort of half the dungeons being used in this one. It's a bit more of the undead sort of creatures in this game, and a few more chaos warriors. And it's even harder and harder as it goes on. Okay, I'll now show you a few extra characters that I've got. This time I'm going to show you some of the extra heroes that I use in this game. I believe you've already seen this one. This is Sir Ragnar, who they rescued in the first mission. This is one of the evil bosses. It's a chaos warrior. Then have this guy is from the Warhammer 40,000 series. It's actually a space marine, but I think he looks like he could make a good hero, so he's perfect for this game. Also we have another Chaos Champion, one of the older figures, so he can either be used as a hero or a villain. This is another villain. This is the leader of the Black Orcs, heavily armoured orcs, very hard to fight. I've got a little squad of those that are used in later games. Also, I believe you've seen this one. I've shown this one before. This is another one of the Chaos Warrior champions. When it focuses, there we go. And then we have another one of the hero figures. This is the Black Knight. So before playing these games, people choose who they want. This is another of the Warhammer 40,000 figures that I use for this game. This is one of the Space Wolves. It's the Rune Priest, but I use him as a wizard. Just think it goes well with this game. Here we have another of the Chaos Warrior champions. I believe this one's called Crom. Here we have another hero. It's a female character this time. This is one of the Sisters of Sigmar figures. So usually if my niece plays, she plays the female characters. Here we have another hero. This is a Marauder. This is one of the Avatars of War figures, similar to the Barbarian that I use in this game. He's an Avatar of War as well. So he's another one. Of course, these figures are very powerful, so it's best to use them in later games. Here we have another evil character. This is one of the leaders of the Chaos Warriors. Sigvald or something like that his name is. Can't quite remember offhand. Here we have another Chaos Warrior champion. It's focused at last. Here we have another female character, female wizard. Not a very good paint job on this one. I'll probably get another one of these painted up. But it's just so you can choose if you want to be a female character, you can. Here we have another hero, another warrior. So you can have 9 or 10 people playing this game. This is another one of the Warhammer 40,000 figures. This is one of the Dark Angels characters. But I think he's a great character to have in this game. He's the one I usually play when I play the heroes. This is another wizard for the heroes. And here we have an elf hero. And another dwarf hero. Getting near the end of this little section now. Here we have, this is a vampire. It's a vampire lord. It's one of the main vampires you have to kill off. If you want to see these figures in more detail, just let me know and I'll do a video purely on the figures that I've got. Here we have another Chaos Warrior. This is one of the bad guys. This is one of the leader of the elite Chaos Warriors, the Chosen, I believe they're called. And finally, the main leader of the Chaos Warriors. This is Archaon. This is a Games Day exclusive figure. I have got this figure on horseback as well, but the Archaon on foot was a Games Day exclusive figure. And you can either have him as the leader of the Chaos Warriors, or what I also do in my games is I have somebody in charge of this guy who goes round trying to kill off the heroes. So he's an anti-hero. He starts somewhere else on the board, so I have one person controlling this guy, one person controls all the other denizens of the dungeon, the actual dungeon master, and then you have the people who control the heroes. So this guy works purely on his own. He can use some of the figures that the dungeon master has at his disposal to help him out, but the dungeon master will also be trying to, if he can, kill this guy off. So this guy, is for someone who's very good at playing these games, very good tactician, would relish playing this character in my games, because he's against everybody and everybody is against him. So there you go, let's just look at a few of my figures, the heroes and main arch villains. I do have lots more different figures. I will show you a few more on the next video. As I say, if you want me to do a video on all my figures, I probably will do one at some stage. But if you can't wait for it and you want to see them all, just let me know. And if I get enough people asking, I'll do purely just one video on all the figures. So that's it from me for this week. I'll do some more videos next week, next Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday of next week. Probably be a couple more Hot Toys figures, and maybe one or two more of these. So until then, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.